Toy Closet Declutter, the extended version. Ask and you shall receive. I got so many messages from my YouTube subscribers asking me for the extended versions of my YouTube shorts. So I thought it was time to finally share with you some of the much longer versions of what it looks like when we are working in clients' homes. I also wanted to share with you that one of the main reasons I do time lapse is that it's because I am the one who is doing all of the camera work as well as the organizing. So it's just easier for me that way. As usual, I started off the project by talking with the client about all of her goals for this toy closet. She had alpha installation from the Container Store, and that's all the shelving that you see throughout the closet. But unfortunately, life happens, and like so many of us moms, we get really overwhelmed and we kind of just shove things into a closet and then become paralyzed by the idea of having to go through it and clean it up. So we pulled everything out of the closet. I had the strategy of pulling out one section at a time just because space was limited in her family room area. We weren't able to pull out the entire closet at once. Not gonna lie, this is quite a lot of exercise, and this video really gives you a sense of just how much movement we do in one project. And in this case, it was just me working with the client on this closet. Sometimes when spaces tend to be smaller, even if there is a considerable amount of possessions, it makes more sense not to overclutter the space with too many organizers. But most projects have at least 2 organizers working on the job to make sure that it can get done. Here's a look at everything that we had pulled out so far. Yes, that is my thumb in the corner, nothing I can do about that. But that was just one section we had pulled out, which was primarily the middle of the room and one side. Yes, I did have to stop in that bathroom. A side note about that, the reason why I filmed it is because that toilet seat had a heated seat. I had never experienced one of those in my life, and I went back and got my camera just to film it so that I could remember it in case I wanted to buy one someday. Anyway, I started to do lots of decluttering with the client. I actually filmed the client and I talking with each other here, but unfortunately, the client was playing a lot of music in the background and it kind of muffles our voices, and also I was kind of concerned about YouTube copyright issues. So just to tell you some of the things that we were talking about here, she was really thinking out loud, which is very common for a lot of the clients that I work with. I work with them to talk through their decision making on whether they keep something or donate it or have some other plan of action for it. But in general, I don't let clients have a maybe pile. I ask them to make decisions because this is something that they have been putting off for a while. And sometimes all you need is to have a sounding board to help you make those decisions. And our client was so good at making choices on everything. But to be totally honest, she did have an attachment with a lot of the things that she had purchased for her kids. And so that may be why in the end, it still looks like there's quite a lot of stuff. Here's one of the pets that she had that was so cute, I had to take a picture. So the next thing that we did was pull out stuff from all of the drawers on that side of the closet and outside, and pulled things from the other side of the closet as well. So this was really done piecemeal just in order to make it manageable for us. All of those drawers had mainly kids' toys but had no organization. You know, I almost always find a magic wand and always give it a try to see if it will actually do all of the decluttering and sorting for me. It never works, but I always have fun waving a magic wand. So the client continued to go through things and I stood there with her and talked through things with her. Oh, and we found a second magic wand as well. After we finished that entire side, I started to pull out things from the other side. This side actually wasn't kids' toys. It was a lot of household things like hardware and paperwork. And I wanted to make sure that that side of the closet was really a safe space, given that it had to be used for everyone in the family. So things like tools, I wanted to make sure that they were put in a place that the youngest kids wouldn't be able to reach easily. You can see once again that I'm doing quite a lot of exercise, having to go up and down that ladder to pull everything off. There were some things that we didn't necessarily get to go through in as much depth, but all of the main things that the client wanted to get done, we did get done. At this point, I started to sort everything onto the shelves and put it away systematically for the client. So here you see me putting all of the board games together. I created a different shelf section for all of the activity kits as well. So that's kind of how I was thinking through things. And then I made a section also for some of the toys that were too large to fit anywhere else. In the drawers, I spent some time sorting different types of toys. I wanted to make it as straightforward and easy for the kids as possible. Oh, and of course I did find some other interesting things like those that I just showed you. So on the other side of the closet, we kind of worked from within the closet primarily, and here's a look at some of the donation items as well as some of the trash. I think in the end there was at least 10 trash bags, and then I worked on putting everything away on the other side of the closet with the client. She did help me with that, which moved things along quite quickly. One of the things I also found was quite a lot of batteries that were scattered everywhere, so I spent a few minutes just making sure they were sorted properly. While I did that, she pulled out all of the drawers and continued to do decluttering in the family room space while I did things like putting those batteries away and sorting some of the tools as well. It was so nice that she had that alpha system already built in because that provided a lot of structure for us. So I didn't have to go and buy any bins or buy anything for that matter for this project. It always is wonderful when decluttering does all of the work for us and we don't have to buy anything. As I always tell clients, it's the buying of stuff that was usually the problem to begin with. Here's another look at all the trash and donations. Let's take a look at the incredible before and afters that we were able to achieve in our time together that day. As some of you have noted, you say things like, it still looks too cluttered. And I want to remind you that it's always our client's decision ultimately on how much they keep and how much they let go.